Ladies and gentlemen, I request you to please rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you. Namaskar. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you and a very warm welcome to this conference on sustainable consumption. Agni is an initiative under the umbrella campaign of Sumangalam. Sumangalam aims to present the unique Bharatiya concept of securing purity of the 5 basic elements of nature and attaining balance and harmony among them for survival and sustainability of life on earth. ये हमारा सौभाग्य है कि आज हमारे बीच उपस्थित हैं असम के माननीय राज्यपाल प्रोफेसर जगदीश मुखी जी। हम आपको इस कार्यक्रम में हार्दिक स्वागत करते हैं, अभिनंदन करते हैं। We have amidst us Mr. Sanjeev Nandan Sahai, Director General, Power Foundation and former Power Secretary, Government of India. We also have amidst us Mr. Ajay Tiwari, Additional Secretary, Ministry of Power, Government of India. We have amidst us Professor T.J. Sitharam, Director, IIT Guwahati. And we also have with us Dr. Tripta Thakur, Director General, National Power Training Institute. मंच पर उपस्थित सभी गणमान्य अतिथियों को हम बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन करते हैं, स्वागत करते हैं। Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to formally welcome our esteemed dignitaries to the program. May I now request Srimati Kalpana Kaul, Advisor, Power Foundation, to please felicitate the Honorable Governor of Assam, Professor Jagdish Mukhi. May I now request Srimati Kalpana Kaul, Advisor, Power Foundation, to felicitate Mr. Sanjeev Nandan Sahai, Director General, Power Foundation and former Power Secretary, Government of India. May I request Mr. Manoj Mishra, Senior Manager, Power Foundation, to felicitate Mr. Ajay Tiwari, Additional Secretary, Minister of Power, Government of India. Ministry of Power, sorry. May I now request Mr. Manoj Mishra to felicitate Professor T.G. Sitharam, Director, IIT Guwahati. And may I request Srimati Kalpana Kaul to felicitate Dr. Tripta Thakur, Director General, National Power Training Institute. Shubham karoti kalyanam, arogyam dhanasampada, shatru buddhi vinashaya, दीप ज्योति नमस्तुते। भारतीय परंपरा के अनुसार किसी भी शुभ कार्य का शुरुआत हम भगवान का नाम लेकर और पवित्र दीप प्रज्वलन से करते हैं। मैं माननीय राज्यपाल महोदय एवं मंच पर उपस्थित सभी गणमान्य अतिथियों से सादर अनुरोध करती हूँ कि कृपया पवित्र दीप प्रज्वलित कर कार्यक्रम को शुभारंभ करने की कृपा करें। Thank you, sir. Thank you all. Ladies and gentlemen, Agni is a powerful element and its role in our lives is very important. We will now see a short film on Agni.
अग्नि भारतीय संस्कृति के अनुसार पांचों तत्वों में विशेष, पूजनीय एवं तेज प्रकाश की अधिष्ठाता, एक सृजनहारा, विश्व की उत्पत्ति का मूल, एक शोधक जो स्वयं भी पवित्र और हर धातु को करे शुद्ध, एक परिपालिका, मानवता की रक्षक, आधुनिक विश्व के निर्माण की योगदाता, ज्ञान, गति, ज्योति, प्रकाश, प्रगति और प्राप्ति सब अग्नि के ही प्रताप हैं।
सृष्टि की रचना अग्नि, अग्नि काल चक्र जैसी पुरानी ऊर्जा की जननी अग्नि, उज्ज्वल है ये कहानी, आरंभ से अनंत अग्नि, निरंतर पावन अग्नि, कण कण को प्राण देती सर्वशक्तिमान है ये, इससे उज्ज्वल धरती का हृदय, इसका आंगन आसमान है, आरंभ से अनंत अग्नि, निरंतर प्रबल अग्नि, क्रोधित जो ये शक्ति, शक्ति तो प्रकोप बन जाए, सावधानी से करो प्रयोग तो जीवन उज्ज्वल हो जाए, आरंभ से अनंत अग्नि, निरंतर प्रचंड अग्नि, शुद्धता का रूप है ये, प्रगति का स्वरूप है, संस्कृति का चिन्ह है ये, ऊर्जा रूप है, आरंभ से अनंत अग्नि, निरंतर नमन अग्नि, आरंभ से अनंत अग्नि, निरंतर नमन अग्नि, 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 अग्नि।
That was a film on Agni. May I now request Professor T.G. Sitaram, Director, IIT Guwahati, to please deliver the welcome address.
Namaskar. Very good morning to all of you. A warm welcome to the Conference on Sustainable Consumption at Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati. Our Honorable Chief Guest of today's function, Honorable Governor of Assam, His Excellency Professor Jagdish Mukhi ji, Sri Ajay Tiwari ji, Additional Secretary, Ministry of Power, Government of India, Sri Sanjeev Nandan Sahai, DG, Power Foundation, Dr. Tripta Thakur, DG, NPTI, Dr. Arup Kumar Mishra, Chairman, Pollution Control Board, and all the other distinguished guests of the dais, delegates, organizing committee members from Power Ministry and also officials from the other ministry, participants, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great, immense pleasure. And I also take this opportunity to welcome all of you to this one-day Sustainable Consumption Conference to be held at this beautiful campus of Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati. I've been told that this event is an outreach program which has been designed to spread the awareness message of responsible consumption and is part of life, that is lifestyle for environment, a concept which was propounded by the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi ji, during the COP26 summit held at Glasgow. On behalf of the Ministry of Power, the Power Foundation of India is conducting this event in association with Vibha, Vigyan Bharati, at Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati. I'm very thankful to Power Ministry for choosing Assam as the venue for hosting this event. And also, this region is rich with all kinds of natural resources and truly diverse with multi-ethnic groups residing in harmony with each other since centuries and leading a life of sustainability which we all need to learn and adopt in our lives as well. Very recently, we had science and technology application to tribal lives in the Northeast, which was very well attended, and also so we could see how our tribals used to live, and with a lot of sustainability concepts. IIT Guwahati, being a technical institute and the only IIT among the 8 northeastern states, I'm very glad that this event is being held here, which sends a very positive message about consumption of power. We saw a beautiful video just before, wherein we could see we have reached out to nook and corner of the country, including most of the villages in power. Now it's high time to look at how to reduce that consumption or use it very sustainably so that we don't depend on too much of non-conventional sources of energy. As an institute, we have been doing very well in both academics and research and have got the international recognition in various ranking agencies in both overall categories as well as research citations category. And particularly I would like to mention in research citation category, which is one of the quantifiable parameter in the QS world ranking, both in the year 22 and 23, IIT Guwahati has done very well. And in the 23, we are 37 in the world and second in India, which is a very proud moment. I also would like to highlight that in the institute is also ranked in the Sustainable Development Goals implementation by the ranking and many other agencies, and we have ranked in 5 categories such as SDG 4 in quality education, SDG 7 affordable and clean energy, SDG 9 industry and innovation and infrastructure, and we are in the top 400 globally in SDG 6, which is clean water and sanitation. We are working towards making social impact through technological intervention, providing developmental solutions in niche areas, and enhancing life quality through various activities at our departments, schools, and center. Presently, IIT Guwahati has 11 departments, 5 schools, and 9 centers. Wherein, truly Indian Institute of Technology, which started in 1960s as an elite engineering college, today they are the truly multidisciplinary educational institutions. And I also always say these Indian Institute of Technologies have become or known for Institute of Indian Technologies today. So they are, we at IIT Guwahati itself, our colleagues have transferred 26 technology in the last 2 years to the industry. In addition to that, we have co-located about 25 companies in our research park building, and we have started almost 65 startup companies in very different areas. In addition to that, our alumni have also done very well. Alumni of Indian Institute of Technology, which are now growing in number, 18,000 plus students have graduated. And today on campus we have 8,000 plus students 450 faculty and 100 faculty as a visiting professor, honorary professor, and professors of practice. And recently what we have done is we have started the School of Health Science and Technology, and we also, with the support of state government, we're going to start a medical school as well, with a hospital, a 350-bedded postgraduate teaching hospital in IIT Guwahati. We have already signed an MOU with the government of Assam. I would like to thank Honorable Chief Minister, Sri Himanta Biswa Sharma ji, in catching the idea immediately what we have said and immediately agreeing, and Cabinet has approved 545 crores for establishment of an hospital in IIT Guwahati. We have already signed, started a Section 8 company with Director IIT as one of the member, and also the Secretary Health from the government of Assam. So this Section 8 company will actually host this hospital in our campus. And in addition to that, we have also started the School of Data Science and Artificial Intelligence, School of Energy Science and Engineering, which started actually in an undergraduate program through JEE this year. Both of them already started. So we have more than 1,000 students, BTech and B Design students, coming from across the country, almost 600 districts of our country here. So such a diversity we have in our campus. The current scenario across the globe, energy is one of the necessity towards the sustainability of human civilization. With depletion of fossil fuel resources, the increase in energy demand in many folds, and global warming, the future technology heavily relies on harnessing energy from alternate and renewable fuels. The notable contribution of renewable energy technology from the Department of Mechanical Engineering at IIT Guwahati involves alternative fuels energy carriers involving biofuels, biogas, development of porous radiant burners for cooking stoves, so that we can take it to every kitchen of India. We can save power. That is a very unique, and also it gives a comfort to the women folk who are in the kitchen. Harnessing wind power with bio-inspired wind turbine blade configuration, development of compressed air energy storage systems, and hybrid solar wind technologies. In recent years, hydrogen is catching the attention as cleanest fuel and efficient energy carrier for complete replacement of fossil fuels. All developed countries across the globe are targeting for decarbonized planet Earth by 2050. The Department of Mechanical Engineering at IIT Guwahati is committed to its research and innovation in this direction to meet the ambitious target. The passive modes of energy research in the direction to meet this ambitious target is our focus. So people are working on energy absorbing materials, hydrogen energy storage materials, and micro energy harvester with piezoelectric and smart energy material management development. IIT Guwahati is also making a significant efforts towards development of various technological framework for faster removal of carbon footprint from the environment by deriving various chemicals using bio-based renewable feedstock. The COE and sustainable polymers Center for Excellence, today we have converted that into a full-blown Center for Sustainable Polymers, which has demonstrated the production of bioethanol, biodiesel, biohydrogen-based energy, and other commodities including biodegradable plastics in a natural environment. And which will basically, this approach which focuses on sustainability and how to use this industrial waste to develop value-added commodities to truly justify the technologies to complement to the circular economy. Friends, IIT Guwahati is closely working with the organization to utilize their waste byproducts to the value-added bioplastics at large scale. An example of development of technology with low carbon footprint by sustainable and eco-friendly approach is under implementation. IIT Guwahati and Chem District Group have signed a memorandum of understanding to start Chem Dist Center for Excellence for Industrial Nanotech Innovations at Center for Nanotechnology. The main focus of this COE was on developing and commercializing new generation technologies and products related to ethanol manufacturing from agro-based feedstock. The COE will emphasize on converting ethanol into valuable pharmaceuticals intermediates, specialty and commodity chemicals which are otherwise being currently imported. So this is a very unique effort in the northeastern part of India. Apart from taking the ethanol industry to a step closer to Government of India's mandate of net zero carbon, on a long run, these efforts will also make ethanol production industry more sustainable. In addition, this Center for Excellence aims to develop new generation two-phase separation technologies and disruptive healthcare products. Further, the Center for Nanotechnology is also leading the center in the country where highest efficiency perovskite solar cells are being fabricated, which is also a very unique effort being done by our faculty at IIT Guwahati. Keeping energy sustainability as our vision, IITG School of Energy, Science and Engineering has started a new BTech program in Energy Engineering from October 2022. The BTech Energy Engineering curriculum includes courses on energy and sustainability, energy and economics auditing, which directly study the economic and social impact of energy handling. Moreover, the energy entrepreneurship course mandates the students to undertake an internship in academia or industry and to engage in community-related entrepreneurial program allied to field of energy engineering, and these courses will be a good platform for undergraduate students to understand the social impact of energy in sustainable development technology. The research and developmental activity of the School of Energy, Science and Engineering focuses on green hydrogen production, carbon capture, energy storage systems, renewable energy production, biomass gasification, smart grids, fuel cells, which shows the zero carbon footprint. While some innovations can be fostered through existing technologies, I would like to tell you that our faculty in the last 2.5 years have filed more than 200 patents in different areas of the technologies. This program initiative seeks to advance the knowledge and understanding of energy science to improve the functioning of the global innovation system for sustainable development technologies. Through the combination of multidisciplinary curriculum and world-class research, IITG's School of Energy, Science and Engineering aims to create breakthrough achievements that will promote India as a global hub to resolve the energy and environmental crisis. The key vision is to develop next generation energy technologies, and particularly in that direction, IIT Guwahati is doing on what is called as low energy nuclear reactions, which is a very unique LENR work is being done at IIT Guwahati. Our faculty was able to demonstrate almost 40 to 45% of excess heat generated through the very low energy nuclear reactions. So we would like to take this research into the next level, because hardly 5 countries in the world are actually doing research on this. Japan, if you remember, in the last World Cup, they wanted to actually showcase this to the world. So similar technology is being now worked at IIT Guwahati. IIT Guwahati is committed to take forward the multidisciplinary and inclusive approach of education and technology and sustainable development. We have also started a course, compulsory course for all our BTech students on SDG goals, taught by 9 departments, 9 faculty. So that's a very unique program. We show the applications of SDG goals to the common citizens. So I am hopeful that this event will bring all stakeholders on one platform and work to provide technological solutions to some of the major and important challenges of sustainability. IIT Guwahati looks forward to implement the major projects with the Power Ministry, and we will look forward to work with them and also look forward to develop further deliberations to see an excellent Center of Excellence created through the Power Ministry at IIT Guwahati. So thank you very much. With these few words, I once again welcome all of you to this important event on sustainability, and I hope you will enjoy the session. Thank you so much, and again, a warm welcome to all of you, particularly to Honorable Governor Jagdish Mukhi ji to our campus. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. May I now request Dr. Tripta Thakur, Director General, National Power Training Institute, to please present an introduction to Sumangalam.
नमस्कार। परम आदरणीय माननीय श्री प्रोफेसर जगदीश मुखी जी, गवर्नर आसाम, श्री अजय तिवारी जी, एडिशनल सेक्रेटरी मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ पावर, श्री संजीव नंदन सहाय जी, डायरेक्टर जनरल पावर फाउंडेशन, श्री टी.जी. सीताराम, डायरेक्टर आईआईटी गुवाहाटी, विभा प्रतिनिधि और सभी उपस्थित अतिथिगण और साथ ही प्यारे बच्चों, आज हम सभी एक भारतीय चिंतन में पंच महाभूतों को लेकर के अग्नि पर चर्चा करने के लिए यहाँ पर एकत्रित हुए हैं। भारतीय चिंतन में पंच महाभूतों का एक उल्लेखनीय चिंतन व दृष्टि है और ये हम बड़ा ही स्पष्ट रूप से परिकल्पित होता है जब हम अपने दिन की शुरुआत सूर्य को अर्चन और तुलसी की पूजा के साथ शुरू करते हैं। तो हमारी भारतीय जीवन शैली में सूर्य के वंदन अर्चन से दिन की शुरुआत होती है। हमारी परंपराएं, हमारे त्यौहार, हमारे संस्कार, हमारे अनुष्ठान व जीवन शैली सभी प्रकृति से शुरू होते हैं और मनुष्य का प्रकृति से तालमेल स्थापित करते हैं। देश के हर भूभाग में आज भी देशज ज्ञान प्रचलित व व्याप्त है। जीवन के हर मोड़ पर प्रकृति से अपने रिश्तों की अभिव्यक्ति पंच महाभूत और पंच तत्व जैसे कई नामों से होती रही है, जिसे पूरी दुनिया के सामने हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने COP26 में बड़े सुंदर संदर्भ में रखा है, जो विश्व के इस समय के संकट जो पर्यावरण के कारण उपस्थित है को एक नई द्रव्य दृष्टि प्रदान करता है। यह द्रव्य दृष्टि व देशज ज्ञान, जिसे हम इंडिक नॉलेज सिस्टम कहते हैं, आपस में बड़े अटूट रिश्ते में बंधे हुए हैं। समय के अनुसार संदर्भ बदले हैं, बहुत से बाह्य कारणों के कारण उनके प्रति दृष्टिकोण भी बदला है। मूल चिंतन से ध्यान भटकने के कारण हम इस उदात्त जीवन पथ से कुछ विचलित भी हुए हैं। इस भटकाव में जलवायु परिवर्तन, जिसे हम क्लाइमेट चेंज कहते हैं, से उपस्थित ढेरों समस्याएं पूरी दुनिया के सामने मुंह बाए खड़ी हुई हैं। भारत भी इससे अछूता नहीं रहा है। भारतीय दर्शन के अनुसार पूरा ब्रह्मांड पंचतत्व से बना है और अग्नि इसमें सबसे महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाती है। क्रमानुसार आकाश और वायु के बाद अग्नि का प्रतिपाद होता है। अग्नि जीवन का एक ऐसी शक्ति है जो जीवन की हर गति का आधार है तथा ये सभी चारों तत्वों से जुड़ी हुई है। ये सभी पांचों तत्व आपस में तालमेल रखते हुए पूरे ब्रह्मांड को सहजता व सरलता से संपादित करते हैं। पर आज के संदर्भ में चारों ओर जलवायु परिवर्तन के कारण जो समस्याएं खड़ी हो गई हैं, जो हमारी प्रजाति को नष्ट भी कर सकती हैं, ये सारी स्टडी से ये पता चलता है कि इस समस्याओं का 100% टेक्निकल सॉल्यूशन नहीं हो सकता। इस समस्या के निदान के लिए आज सारा विश्व मंथन कर रहा है, भारत भी उसमें शामिल है और साथ ही पूरी निष्ठा के साथ इसके समाधान के बारे में हम चिंतन कर रहे हैं। पंच महाभूतों में असंतुलन जो इसका मुख्य कारण है क्लाइमेट चेंज का, उससे पैदा विकृतियों की ओर विश्व का ध्यान भारत दिलाना चाहता है। प्रकृति व पर्यावरण के प्रति भारतीय दृष्टि और जलवायु परिवर्तन से उत्पन्न वैश्विक संकटों से निपटने में भारत की भूमिका देश व दुनिया में हम चर्चा के द्वारा सबके सामने लाना चाहते हैं और सुमंगलम इसी अभियान का एक हिस्सा है। आज का सम्मेलन भी उसी दिशा में एक कदम है। देश की स्वतंत्रता के अमृत महोत्सव के वर्ष में ये अवसर के संबंध में अध्ययनशील, प्रयोगशील व्यक्ति एवं संस्थाएं एकत्रित होकर इस पर चर्चा करें और जन सामान्य को तथा इस क्षेत्र में कार्य करने वाले सभी संस्थाओं और लोगों को आपस में संवाद स्थापित करने में मदद करें। ये भी हमारा सुमंगलम का एक अभियान है। काल सुसंगत व्यवहारिक योजना बने और क्रियान्वयन के प्रयास संभव हो सके। विश्व के सम्मुख अपनी दृष्टि प्रस्तुत करने का समेकित विद्वत व व्यवहारिक प्रयास हम करना चाहते हैं। इस पूरे सुमंगलम अभियान के लिए आज IIT गुवाहाटी में से अच्छा कोई स्थान नहीं हो सकता। पंच महाभूतों में अग्नि की अवधारणा के लिए मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ पावर ने एनर्जी फॉर लाइफ विषय पर विभिन्न शहरों में चर्चाएं की हैं। इसमें ऊर्जा के सभी संदर्भों को जोड़ने की एक प्रयास हम कर रहे हैं, जैसे ऊर्जा और एनर्जी सिक्योरिटी, ऊर्जा एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबल एंड सस्टेनेबल कंजम्पशन, जिसकी चर्चा आज हम यहाँ करने जा रहे हैं। ऊर्जा और पर्यावरण 1 और 2 नवंबर को हमने भोपाल में किया। ऊर्जा और स्वास्थ्य 2 दिसंबर को तिरुवनंतपुरम में हम करने जा रहे हैं। ऊर्जा और वास्तु भुवनेश्वर में करने जा रहे हैं। ऊर्जा और स्पिरिचुअलिटी बनारस में करने जा रहे हैं। और इन सभी प्रयासों को आखिरी में 28-29 जनवरी 2023 को ISC बैंगलोर में एक बड़ा सम्मेलन है और मैं आज आप सभी को आमंत्रित करना चाहती हूँ कि आप सभी हमारे साथ ISC बैंगलोर में 28-29 जनवरी 2023 में जुड़ें। वर्तमान संदर्भ में यदि जलवायु परिवर्तन की बात आती है तो 3 सेक्टर को प्रमुख रूप से इसमें दोषी माना जाता है। पहला सेक्टर होता है ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, दूसरा पावर प्रोडक्शन, तीसरा एग्रीकल्चर एंड फूड इंक्लूडिंग मीट ईटिंग ऑफ एनिमल्स। सो विश्व की सभी सरकारें इससे निपटने के लिए इन तीनों सेक्टरों में क्या काम संभव हो सकता है उसके प्रयास में जुटी हुई हैं। उसके लिए सभी पॉलिसी और प्रयास चल रहे हैं जो कि क्लीनर और ग्रीनर एनर्जी एंड ट्रांसपोर्टेशन को बढ़ावा दे। साथ ही ये सभी महसूस कर रहे हैं कि जीवन शैली में भी बदलाव चाहिए और लाइफस्टाइल फॉर एनवायरनमेंट, जिसको लाइफ मिशन का रोल नाम दिया है, ये भी उस पर प्रयास, सभी का प्रयास चल रहा है। यहाँ मैं एक छोटी सी स्टडी पर जो 1972 में हुई थी उस पर आपका ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहूँगी, जो कि लिमिट टू ग्रोथ के रूप में पब्लिश हुई थी और जिसमें बताया गया था कि हम हमेशा इस तरह की ग्रोथ नहीं कर सकते, देयर इज़ अ लिमिट। तो इसी संदर्भ में हमारा ध्यान इस स्टडी ने खींचा था और ये बताया कि दोहन जो हम प्रकृति का कर रहे हैं वो अनंत रूप से संभव नहीं है और हमें अपनी ग्रीड को भी अनंत नहीं रखना चाहिए। हमने इसे महसूस भी किया है। हम निरंतर देख रहे हैं तापमान बढ़ता जा रहा है, हमारे जल स्रोत घटते चले जा रहे हैं, हमारा समुद्र अम्लीय होता जा रहा है और हमारी बायोडाइवर्सिटी सिमटती चली जा रही है। एक शेर है, यहाँ पर एक शेर कहा है एक शायर ने कि शहर क्या देखें, हर मंजर में जाले पड़ गए, ऐसी गर्मी है कि पीले फूल काले पड़ गए हैं। तो इस तरह की विभिन्न तरीके से हम देख रहे हैं कि इन्वायरमेंट में क्लाइमेट चेंज के कारण क्या हम परिस्थितियों का सामना करने चले जा रहे हैं। हमारी परंपराओं के अनुसार हम सभी जानते हैं कि प्रकृति को देवता और भगवान मानते हुए हमें इसका प्रयोग करना चाहिए, ना कि पश्चिम की विचारधारा के अनुसार इसका दोहन करना चाहिए। आज वो समय आ गया है कि सभी को इस दृष्टिकोण को अपनाने की आवश्यकता है। जितनी आवश्यकता हो उतना उपभोग, यही हमें रिस्पॉन्सिबल कंजम्पशन की ओर प्रेरित करता है। आज हम सुनते हैं कि पृथ्वी को बुखार आ गया है और इससे बचाना है। पश्चिम समाज ये कहता है कि ह्यूमन नीड टू सेव अर्थ in accordance with their human-centric worldview. From Sanatan Dharma perspective, this saving of earth is an absurd concept. The Mother Earth, Prithvi Mata, is a living entity, and like any living entity, she has the capacity to not only heal herself, but also the capacity to eliminate internal disease-causing pathogens. मुझे पूरी आशा है कि आज हम यहाँ पर रिस्पॉन्सिबल और सस्टेनेबल कंजम्पशन की बातचीत से कुछ सीख के जाएंगे और आगे जो इस सुमंगलम योजना का एक अभिन्न अंग बढ़कर के हमारे जो भारतीय दृष्टिकोण पर्यावरण के संदर्भ में है उसको सारी दुनिया के सामने लेके जाएंगे। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
Thank you so much, ma'am. May I now request Mr. Ajay Tiwari, Additional Secretary, Ministry of Power, Government of India, to please present an introduction to Agni Tattva Campaign.
Honorable Governor of Assam, Professor Dr. Jagdish Mukhi ji, respected Director General of Power Foundation of India, Shri Sanjeev Nandan Sahai ji, Director of IIT Guwahati, Professor T.G. Sitaram ji, Director General of National Power Training Institute, Dr. Tripta Thakur Madam, other dignitaries present here in this hall, dear faculty members, students, media personnel, and all the well-wishers from various walks of life. I am indeed privileged to be here in IIT Guwahati today and to get this unique opportunity to speak in this seminar on Agni Tattva in front of Honorable Governor and the distinguished audience. I understand that this is the third conference in the series of 10 such conferences to be held all over the country by Power Foundation of India during this year-long celebration of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. It is a pleasure to see that IIT Guwahati has partnered this particular event with the Power Foundation of India, which is a premier think tank of the Ministry of Power with Vigyan Bharati under the overall umbrella of Sumangalam. You must have seen the slogan of the conference, Agni, Prayas, Prakash and Pragati. This is chosen to emphasize on how Agni, the energy, works as the prime mover in the development of a nation given the right efforts. In the modern times, Agni has become synonymous with the energy of which electricity or power is one of the biggest medium. Easy and increased availability of energy has transformed our lives in an unprecedented manner. Modern life is bestowed with unimaginable comforts and conveniences that we are actually using today. However, the indiscriminate use and mindless consumption of energy for achieving this unlimited, so-called unlimited growth has become a major cause of the rapidly emerging existential crisis. According to the latest information from the United Nations Environmental Programme, energy production and its uses are now the single biggest contributor to global warming, accounting for roughly 2/3 of the greenhouse gas emissions. Thus, at the moment, the entire world is standing at the crossroads where our very survival is threatened by global warming and subsequent climate change. Indian philosophy understands that humans are an integral part of the nature and are linked spiritually, emotionally, intellectually with the elements of nature around us. This Indian thought forms the basis for the solution which we can give to the world. It was under this context that at the occasion of 26th UN Climate Change Conference, COP26 at Glasgow in 2021, last year, Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, announced Mission Life, LIFE, that is lifestyle for environment, to bring individual behaviors to the forefront of the global climate action narrative. Environmental degradation and climate change impact ecosystems and populations across the globe. Over the last 2 decades, several measures have been taken globally by various countries to address these environmental degradation concerns, including policy reforms, economic incentives, and regulations. But as Modi ji said, that the actions required at the level of individual level, community level, and the institution level, despite their enormous potential, we have received very limited attention so far before this announcement. According to United Nations Environment Programme, even if 1 billion people out of the global population of 8 billion adopt these environment-friendly behaviors in their daily lives, global carbon emissions could drop by 20%. The whole world today knows that the Indian life habits are such that the average carbon footprint of a person in India is just 1/3 of the global per capita emissions. That is 1.6 tons carbon dioxide per person per year compared to the global average of 4 tons carbon dioxide. Thus, India's traditional knowledge, social norms, and daily household practices strongly position it to lead the narrative of addressing climate change through individual behavior, which forms the mass movement of Jan Andolan, that is life. It envisions replacing the prevalent use and dispose economy governed by mindless and destructive consumption with a circular economy, which would be defined by mindful and responsible consumption. As recently in August 2022, India updated its nationally determined contributions called NDCs, which have been submitted to UNFCCC recently, which states that India will put forward and propagate a healthy and sustainable way of living based on traditions and values of conservation and moderation, including a lifestyle movement. As a key to combating climate change, today's seminar relates to Agni Tattva, which is a part of life and has the theme Energy for Life, which is chosen by Ministry of Power. With regard to use of energy, power, and electricity, various actions have been enlisted under this life mission. Some of them are very simple, like switching off lights, ACs and heaters when not in use, or switching off engines of your vehicles during idling at the traffic signals. This has also given rise to switch off movement, not only in India, now in the entire world. Using LED bulbs keeping air conditioners at 24 degrees centigrade, and installing energy efficient devices are some of the initiatives which can be taken under energy efficiency, and we can save a lot of energy and therefore the fossil fuels. Additionally, individuals can be mindful of their plastic usage and their use of water for daily activities. Changing our lifestyle, however, is not easy. Our habits are deeply ingrained in our daily lives and are continuously reinforced through several elements of our environment. Translating our intention to do good for the environment is not always easy to translate into action. However, it is not impossible. By taking an action at a time and making one change daily, we can change our lifestyle and inculcate long-term environment-friendly habits. We know that it takes around 21 days to make anything as your habit. So if one takes a challenge of following these ideas in their daily lifestyle, then he or she becomes a part of pro-planet people. As our Prime Minister said during COP26, our planet is one, but our efforts have to be many. One earth, many efforts. Lastly, I would like to say that it is heartening to see today that the teachers, scientists, thinkers, government functionaries, NGOs, students, and the social workers all have come together to deliberate for energy for life. By the end of Agni Tattva Campaign, hopefully, we will together find those missing links between energy and health, energy and transport, energy and environment, energy and spirituality, and energy and sustainable consumption, which will provide the world sustainable ways of living, which will be very much Indian. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.
Thank you so much, sir. May I now request Mr. Sanjeev Nandan Sahai, Director General, Power Foundation, to please address the gathering.
His Excellency, the Governor of Assam and Nagaland, Professor Jagdish Mukhi ji, Mr. Ajay Tiwari, Professor Dr. T.G. Sitaram, Dr. Tripta Thakur, young children, ladies and gentlemen. Let me do something unconventional. And let me first thank Professor Jagdish Mukhi. I do so at the inauguration because this is a personal thank you. I was 8 years in service in the IS when I joined as Joint Secretary Finance, where our governor was the first finance minister of Delhi. I'm giving this example for a particular reason, and I'll tell you why. He made some changes in the budget in sales tax, which a lot of bureaucrats had opposed. And let me give you some data. 1993-94, the sales tax collection in Delhi was about 900 crore. Liberalization had just happened, so the Indian growth rate was just 3.8 to 4.5%. Delhi being a more dynamic city, the growth rate, GDP growth rate was about 6.5–7%. 93-94, 900 crores. 94-95, can anybody guess what was the sales tax collection? Nothing. The staff had not been increased. The sales tax collection was 1,250 crore, 40% increase. I was wet behind my ears, as I said, and I learned that a good public policy, when you have dialogue with the traders, the people whom you're dealing with, and you're open-minded. He just tweaked some important things, and the community, the trader community didn't go up in strike. They paid the taxes. He just plugged the leakages. I'm talking about good public policy as nudging behavior. And this was nudged much before we heard about nudging. And that is why, sir, I thank you, because that has helped me a lot in thinking, are there other options? You know, when we talk about green, for all of us who have flown from Delhi, and I saw in the open air here in IIT Guwahati, your PM 2.5 was just 27. We don't even manage to get that in Delhi in a closed environment with heavy-duty room air cleaners. We don't get that. Because what we need today is to move from greed to green. Just drop the D, put the N there. Everything will be fine after that. But it's not an easy task. Again, public policy, I just want to posit this question to you. And we've been talking, our previous speakers mentioned, about transportation as one of the big emitters of carbon dioxide. Is it good to build flyovers? Think about it. How do you measure transport efficiency? By the time taken, but isn't time taken a consequence of traffic jam? Do we measure efficiency of roads in throughput in terms of vehicles per hour or number of people who you cross? Is it the speed, the number of people who are able to use the road or number of vehicles that are able to use the road? And if you can answer that question, the solution is clear, it's public transport. But we will encourage private transport. Look at our urban planning. The pavements, the footpaths are difficult to walk on. It's become unsafe to walk. So even, nearby shops, people now take their two-wheelers or cars to go and do shopping. We are encouraging consumption of energy and petroleum. Idling, you switch it off, that's fine. But why would you need to use a car if cycling were possible and closer and it's good for health, or walking were possible? The way we design our buildings, it's now gone into concrete, glass and steel, which is good in a Western world, which is cold, in colder climate. You need to trap energy. Here most of the time it's hot. We need to stop the heat from coming in, and we are doing exactly the opposite. I remember I was living in a house in Delhi government, and the government decided to build one more floor on top of the house. So I requested the PWD, the traditional mud fuska should be done. And the engineer-in-chief and chief engineer said, you're talking about something antediluvian, it's old. I insisted, and we got that done. We got white, these sanitary stuff which is thrown, broken and put on the rooftop, which could reflect the heat, and mud fuska. That room, we would switch on the air conditioning a month after my neighbors had to do it. And air conditioning had to be switched on for a lesser number of time. We asked for shade on the western part of the wall. These are things we have just forgotten. It is very important, therefore, that personal behavior, we must understand the link between public policy and personal behavior. There is a lot of greed, but we have to, and that is why I talked about the example of good public policy, bringing in compliance and good behavior. This is what we need: good urban planning, good architectural design, good codes. And there's very little time, and I don't want to come in between before the Honorable Governor speaks. I just want to bring some facts. Good public policy again. We have Dr. Ashok here, and he will tell in great detail. But because of the standards and labeling program and Perform Achieve PAT, the electrical energy savings in India is up like 159.24 billion units. It's more than 10% of the total energy consumed. It's worth 95,544 crore, and it has resulted in reduction of 130 million tons of CO2 emission. Again, good public policy. Clear incentives, people have complied with. You all know about the Energy Star rating. Whenever we go to buy an AC or a washing machine, you have those star ratings. And they're being strengthened. They're being made more and more rigorous. That compliance has also led to savings. In the end, there'll be a lot of talk about input, things like hydrogen, renewable energy, which are very important. But we will also focus on public policy. As I said, I'm fond of giving this quotation. I have said this earlier to those who have heard it. My apologies, but it sums up everything that I want to say. I used to had the fortune of working with our Honorable Prime Minister very closely, Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee. And I remember on 1st January 1999 in Andamans, he made this opening remarks. And he said, मनुष्य को भूख लगे और खाना खाए वो प्रकृति है, भूख से ज्यादा खाए वो विकृति है, और खाना बांट के खाए वो संस्कृति है. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now see a short film entitled Sustainable Consumption on how we can do our bit by ensuring responsible consumption. May I request Honorable Governor of Assam, Professor Jagdish Mukhi ji, to formally launch the film entitled Sustainable Consumption.
Flavor of our country, steeped in a land so pure, blessed by the gods themselves, with an abundance of beauty and culture. As a nation working towards a sustainable future, we need to optimize the use of natural resources. Let us consume responsibly. Let us protect our Mother Nature. Let us do our best.
अब मैं माननीय राज्यपाल महोदय से सादर अनुरोध करती हूँ कि कृपया अपने बहुमूल्य वचन हमारे साथ बांटे, सभा को संबोधित करें.
सभी को मेरा नमस्कार. संजीव नारायण जी, डायरेक्टर जनरल PFI, अजय तिवारी जी, एडिशनल सेक्रेटरी मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ पावर, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर TG सीताराम, डायरेक्टर IIT गुवाहाटी, डॉक्टर तृप्ता ठाकुर, डायरेक्टर नेशनल पावर ट्रेनिंग इंस्टीट्यूट, ladies and gentlemen, my dear students. It gives me immense pleasure to learn that Power Foundation of India, in association with the Vijnana Bharati, is currently running a campaign to create awareness on Agni Tattva under lifestyle for environment. This campaign includes conferences, seminars, events, and exhibitions across the country involving educational institutions, communities, and relevant organizations to create awareness of the core concept of Agni Tattva, an element that is synonymous with energy and is amongst the 5 elements of Pancha Bhuta, Panch Mahabhut. I am happy to be here at this conference, which is a part of the series of events planned for Agni Tattva Campaign. I am again happy to learn that this campaign has been launched across the country and organized successfully in Ladakh and Bhopal. I thank the organizer for having launched the program in Guwahati, the gateway of Northeast. This capital, as it's known today, has subsumed the ancient cities of Prague, Jyotipura and Durjana, which were the capitals of Kamrup. Guwahati best describes an incomparable city woven around hills, wetlands, and reserve forests. It houses an array of unique flora and fauna, gaining vibrancy from mighty Brahmaputra. Assam and other eastern states today are on the cusp of change. The region as a whole has witnessed exponential growth not only in tourism but also on the parameters of development. Moving beyond the traditional economic activities based on tea, crafts, and forest-based products, the region today, known for its massive contribution in diverse segments like paper, cement, petroleum, fertilizers, and mineral resources. Several IT and IT-enabled services companies have also shown interest in setting up their bases here in Northeast. Along with the pace of development that is taking place in the region, we are also very proud of its rich culture and heritage and, of course, its environment. As we are progressing economically, we sometimes tend to forget to harness the knowledge of our ancestors. Our culture, our beliefs, our values and principles are set aside to needless growth. In the process, we are losing touch with the nature. Conservation of nature or of our culture is the responsibility of each and every citizen. We must generate this consciousness in our daily lives, whether it is saving energy, water, or the use of alternative sources of energy. This is the only solution to save the delicate ecosystem of our region. Today, the world is conscious of adverse effects of climate change. Climate change is one of the greatest threats to the global security. In this backdrop, we must ensure that our regional ecosystem is not destroyed. We must preserve our rich culture and heritage and move ahead by adopting a way of life which is simple, rich, and environment friendly. In a bid to boost our economy, we must continue with our efforts to increase agriculture and horticulture produce by exploring our traditional practices of farming with emphasis on organic and pesticide-free produce. Northeastern region of our country is a treasure trove for organic farming. Considering this potential, our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has termed this region an organic hub. Therefore, along with desisting from using the inorganic fertilizer, we should also increasingly resort to use renewable energies. In Assam, we have already signed an MOU for setting up of a 1,000 megawatt solar plant. I must say that this conference is being used being held at a very appropriate time when the world is deeply concerned about global warming and its harmful consequences. It's a time for India to lead the way by harnessing our traditional wisdom in sustainable planning, which is imperative to ensure growth of the region. Our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, in the climate conference held at Glasgow, put forward Panchamrit, 5 key commitments to deal with the challenge of climate change. Right from reducing the country's carbon emissions to increasing India's reliance on non-fossil fuel and renewable energy sources, the country has already made its intent clear to work against climate change and global warming. With this, I would like to sum up my observation with a hope that the deliberations in the conference would draw some actionable agenda for us to follow and address the threats of degradation of climate. Thank you. Jai Hind. I would like to comment just a minute. I think so many conferences at the international level, national level, and the regional level are being held today. Is it all what is needed at this present? Let it not remain in these halls. We have to go to the public. We have to go reach to the public. We have to change their mentality about all this. And that is needed. It will be done not only by conducting such conferences. We have to go to the masses. We have to tell the public, and they can understand. At least in India, in rural population, they can understand much faster than our so-called educated mass in that case. I think our organizations should go to the villages, go to the downtrodden public. You will get a very good response, far, far better than only discussing among some top persons. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring words. May I now request Srimati Kalpana Kaul, Advisor, Power Foundation, to please propose the vote of thanks.
Good morning. It is my honor to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of Power Foundation of India and Vibha. The conference has started on a brilliant insight by the Honorable Governor, Professor Jagdish Mukhi ji, who has been extremely kind and gracious to spare time from his busy schedule and be with us today. Thank you so much, sir. Your thoughts and insights, especially on going to the masses, will definitely be our guiding spirit, sir, as we take the message of energy conservation forward. We would also like to thank Shri Sanjeev Nandan Sahai Sahab, our Director General of the Power Foundation of India, who has been guiding us in every step of the way. His knowledge and experience, not only of the power sector, but also administration and governance, has been critical in the execution on ground. We are extremely grateful to Shri Ajay Tiwari ji, Additional Secretary, Ministry of Power, who's representing the ministry for us today. He has come all the way from Delhi. Thank you so much, sir. Your support will supplement our efforts today. Dr. Tripta Thakur, Director General, NPTI, who's representing Vibha here, has been our supporter and is effectively ironing out all critical concerns that come our way. Thank you so much, ma'am. I would be failing if I don't thank Professor T.G. Sitaraman, Director, IIT Guwahati, who has opened up the doors of this prestigious institution for us to organize this event. Sir, your team consisting of Professor Iyer, Professor Darun Singh, and other silent many workers, has been our immense support in our execution today, sir. I would also like to thank all the participants who have come here, particularly the young students, who will be the torch bearers of our message and carry it forward not only in their families, but to the next generation also. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming here and making our conference a success. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Ladies and gentlemen, the inaugural session comes to an end now, and the next session will commence at 12 p.m. after a tea break. Sorry, after 10 minutes after a tea break. Thank you. Namaskar. The tea and snacks, tea and refreshments are being served outside this hall. You please requested to proceed for tea.
They will need at least 30 minutes. I know we are running late, but we have to go across the
12:30, the next session.
12:15, ठीक है, हम जल्दी करें.
The next session will commence from 12:15.